And hello there, you guys. And in this week's video, I'm going to be showing you how to turn this empty, unsuspecting container into a working springtail culture. So let's get right into it. And of course, the first thing you're going to need is your container. Now this is just a basic container. I just found it and it's a good size. You want to make sure to wash it a little bit first in dechlorinated water. And I'm just gonna end up using the pool water. And so, yeah, it's just a small container. You can use any size you want, really. I mean, it's just like this, I find a lot more manageable. So yeah, now I have it open and I'm gonna be washing it, I believe. Maybe. Yep, here I go. Just gonna wash it. This is pool water, but it's mostly rainwater. So I believe rain is dechlorinated. And this is what springtails would naturally drink anyway. And so you want to fill it up about halfway, give or take. And so then once you have it about that height, you're gonna want to get something for the springtails to hold on to. And I'm gonna be using some charcoal. And charcoal is really good. You could also use activated carbon if you wanted to, but I decided not to, as my activated carbon pellets are much smaller and have much less space, much less surface area for the springtails. So I'm just gonna collect a bit of this charcoal and then I'm going to bring it back over to the pool. And now we're back. And so you can see that it's really dirtying up my hands. So you're gonna wanna wash it and just look at all that debris. That's one piece of charcoal. One piece of charcoal. And while I'm washing this charcoal, there's a lot of debris coming off. We're gonna wanna make sure to wash your charcoal in dechlorinated water as well. And it can sink, but most of my pieces didn't. Only like one of them really sank. But like, even if you wash them like really good, like I think what I thought I did, towards the end, I just grab one of the pieces that I've already washed and it's just so dirty and I have to like re-wash them. But I don't know if I show that on camera. And I'm sorry for the bad filmsmanship. It's just like, you know, I have problems with this. I need a camera guy. But yeah, so I'm just gonna finish washing this up and then I'll go ahead and swap over to the next spot once I'm done cleaning. So now I'm done cleaning, I'm gonna go put it over in the bin. So as you can see here, I'm about to put them in the bin. And so the first one, ooh, I just dirtied up that water a lot. And as I just keep dropping them in, the water just looks worse and worse. Like that little clump right there, that was really bad. So I apparently didn't wash them good enough. And the smart thing would have been to put them all in there, put the lid on, and wash them again, and then refill. Especially not right back in the cloud of debris that I just dumped down there. And so yeah, and I'm just gonna put the rest in there. Still a little bit dirty, but it'll settle. And so I know that I said that it didn't really sink, but when you start stacking them up on each other like this, that's a good reason why you should use like a smaller sort of container, is because they'll push each other down rather than push each other aside. The different pieces of charcoal. But yeah, the water is just looking nasty now. But yeah, this is really nasty. But it's good enough for me. And so now, like, just look at all the dirtiness, like, just like on like the porch, deck, poolside, or whatever. but I was satisfied. So next, of course, we're going to need springtails. And there's a very large colony of springtails down there in that corner there. Now, when I went to film this, and when I went to do this, beforehand the water had been really high, but we have a pump in the pool because we're draining the pool so we can repaint. But there's a springtail. There are many different types of springtails that I've seen, including some big black ones, which I now know are named snow fleas. But yeah, now I'm just going to try and catch some of them by using the pool water to knock them off the wall. And then I'll just come in with a container and scoop them all up. There's my container. And so yeah, I'm just gonna go ahead and do that. But right now I'll take a little bit to talk about what springtails actually do. Springtails are some of the most prevalent soil creatures you could find. If you could just get a clump of dirt and you put it in like a see-through clear container like this, one of the most prevalent things you'll find are springtails. Now, of course, there's also mites, but those are very hard to culture. Now, if you'll go back to my video where I have an itsy bitsy problem, or as my friend called it in the comments, a mighty problem, you'll see that I was actually able to make a somewhat effective mite farm unintentionally. But yeah, that's just, whatever. But anyways, I'm going to continue talking about springtails now. They're one of the most prevalent soil creatures. You can find them basically anywhere. Except for like the coldest wastes of like the polar snow caps. Like the Arctic, not even like Antarctica. Like I'm pretty sure they're in Antarctica. But probably not in the Arctic, because that's just floating ice. And there's not a lot of sustenance there. But anyways, just gonna go ahead and pour the springtails in there. But springtails, they're good for you, for your terrariums, anything that's bioactive, which means it has many different creatures, live plants, live animals, other than just like the one thing that you put in there. So like all my terrariums, they're bioactive, they're self-sustaining. Now, just because bioactive doesn't mean it has to be self-sustaining, but it's kind of like a small ecosystem, although it still will require some care. Now, however, we're gonna go on inside. So I have the lid on there, and as you can see, I have some minute white rice, and I'm not gonna be cooking it. I'm just gonna be putting it in there raw. This is for the food. And yeah, I just gotta put it in there. But I'm either gonna do it now or I'm gonna do something beforehand. So let's just wait and see, because I forgot. Nope, looks like I'm gonna put it right in there. So, you just gotta open it. I probably should have done this before, because now all the springtails have a chance to get out. So I have some rice in a bowl. I'm just gonna put it in there. Now, this rice can last like a week, or it can last a few days. It all depends. But now, I've given them their rice. So now, I'm up in my room, and I'm gonna be using a thumbtack to poke some holes in the lid. And it's very easy to do, just very simple, like, doesn't take like any time at all. Now, you could also use a safety pin if you so desire, which I'm gonna do now. However, you probably don't want to use both at the same time. So, when I'm done giving an example of how to put a safety pin through a piece of plastic, don't really know why I'm doing that. Just to show effectiveness, I guess. I don't really know at this point. But yeah, it makes a nice hole. They both make the same size hole, really. But I'm just going to use the thumbtack. And you're going to want to make sure you use something small enough, like not like a nail. A nail's too big. A nail will leave a hole large enough for springtails to escape because they're so small. So you want to use something like a thumbtack or a safety pin or just a normal pin. But I didn't have a pin to show you an example. Like even like a normal pin would work. You just gotta make sure that the holes are small enough. I only put in a few. I probably should put in more. But, you know what? Oh well. So, when I'm done putting holes in this lid, I will continue on. And I'll go ahead and put these away. Stab myself. So I'm gonna go put those pins away. And so now, look down from the fish tank. No, not over there. No, not at the ants. No, not down there. In the drawer. Yes, the drawer. And voila. They're now in the drawer. And so you're just gonna kind of want to leave them in a dark space. Depending on the species, you should give them a certain amount of light. But anyways, guys, thank you so much for watching. Please do remember to like and subscribe. And hit the notification bell so you get notified of all my future uploads, as I try to upload weekly, except when I'm celebrating a birthday during that week or on that weekend. But anyways, you guys, also please do remember to comment on the video like a name for the Springtail culture as a whole. And also share this video with your friends, enemies, and frenemies, and we'll draw it out. Oh yeah, and I almost forgot to mention, my Springtail culture is still going strong 2 weeks after I made it. So you guys, thanks for tuning in. And I guess, yeah. So, thank you. And I guess I'm gonna leave now. This is kind of awkward. You weren't supposed to see them yet. 2 weeks, guys. 2 weeks you'll see this, you'll meet this new ant colony. So you guys, thank you so much for watching. And Animal Introvert out for the last time in this video.